push them both in from the front of the gun all the way to the back of it. So to go through a few fun fact numbers about a gun of this size, when it was on its carriage, the whole thing would weigh close to 40 tons. It would fire a roughly 400-pound shot, use about 50 pounds worth of gunpowder for each shot that you fired, and this thing had an accurate range of somewhere between 2.5 to 3 miles. It also would have had a 15-person gun crew operating it, and even with the most experienced gun crew, it would still take you about 5 minutes just to load and fire one shot out of this. So,
this thing's a ship code.
yep, so how it would work.
Any ship that's forward, it gets shot at. This thing's meant to sink.
Effectively, this thing was meant to pierce through just about any kind of armor that would have been on a ship. So, let's say there was a ship all the way out in the harbor over there that was just making their way past McNabb's Island, and they were within firing distance of this gun. It's a little hard to show visually, as the whole thing was up on a giant carriage, and the front of the barrel would be basically right here at the front of the window, but it would fire a shot all the way out there, try to breach the hull of a ship and get it to sink. So
it would be like three big barrels type of thing, and cannon. First, we would go in here, there's the barrel. You got the firing mechanism. I believe it was like right here, right?
yeah, to kind of give a brief rundown of the firing process, it would start with a clearing of the vent and searching of the gun. So they just kind of take a big metal scraper, scrape it through the barrel to make sure that there's no gunk in there. And if I come to the back of the gun, I believe it would have been
the firing pin is right here.
Yep, they would have placed a fuse in here, but they had to also clear that of gunk. But for the loading process, you would take this. It was effectively a silk bag that was filled with about 50 pounds worth of gunpowder, and you would push that in from the front of the barrel to the back with a giant rammer. You would do the same with your 400-pound shot. The only difference with that was that you couldn't really have someone lift a 400-pound shot by hand, so you have almost like this little crank system off to the side of the gun that you could use to leverage it up to the front of the barrel, and then from there you push it into the back. And then all you have to do is place effectively your fuse in the top part here. And then when you were ready to fire, the person that was firing would stay in here, but the rest of the gun crew would actually go outside of the door there to try and prevent any kind of hearing loss. And then when they get the command to fire, all they had to do was yank this cord that was attached to the fuse like that. It sends a spark down the hole here that ignites the gunpowder inside of the bag. That sends your shot out. No worries. With that, does anyone have any other questions about, well, not just the gun here, but anything that you've seen on the tour so far?
I just want to know what RNFL stands for.
Rifled muzzle loader.
Rifle muzzle.
How old is this one now? How old?
So, originally these guns would have been used primarily in around the early 1840s up until about the mid 1870s or so. But for these guns specifically here on the island, a lot of these are replicas that they made in the late 1960s to early 1970s when they started to restore the island and try and open it up as a National Historic Site. Yeah, unfortunately it's just been sitting here rusting away for almost 16 years. Unfortunate. Any other questions? All right, well with that then, you can follow me over this way. We're going to go up a bit set of stairs, make our way into the upper battery.